Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome back to Wicca 303. Today's class will be all about connecting to guides. Now, in witchcraft, a spiritual guide can refer to a wide variety of beings. It may be an animal spirit or an ancestor or some form of fae, and I am using the word fae as an umbrella term to denote all intelligent mythological beings. But a spirit guide could even refer to the gods themselves. And depending upon who you are seeking or who may be seeking you, the process of connection can vary quite a bit. Now, sometimes we get lucky, and it's just a matter of a spirit, leaving signs of like breadcrumbs to alert us to their presence. And it's just a matter of us interpreting that, identifying that, and just going from there. However, it is not at all unusual that, we've just got to do the legwork ourselves. Now, the purpose of forging connections with our spiritual guides of any kind is to benefit from their wisdom. It's not about getting supernatural interventions or having them solve our problems for us, but it is about getting good advice and useful lessons. And if you approach this issue in that particular spirit, you will have greater success. So let's begin with animal spirits. Animal spirits, power animals, totems, whatever term you care to use. This is a common starting point for people who are seeking otherworldly guidance. Now, rather than just taking some internet quiz to determine what your spirit animal is and then just doggedly researching that, I will advise taking a more magical approach. Meditation, in particular guided meditations that seek out spirit animals, are amongst the most useful and the most direct tool that I could possibly recommend to you. It may take several tries to get a glimpse, so if at first you don't succeed, definitely try again. But when you do this, and the more often you do it, it serves as an announcement to that realm that you are not only open for influence from your guide, but you are actively desiring it. You want to know who they are. You want to know what they are wanting to teach you. Now, whether we are talking about humans or spirits, most beings are more likely to take an interest in someone if they believe that person actually cares. And in addition to that, start paying attention to what kind of animals are surrounding you, especially if some of those animals seem a bit out of place. If one in particular catches your attention and you just can't let go of thinking about it, that can be a strong indication that it's a representation of your spirit animal. And then, as an act of good faith, try doing something helpful for this animal. For example, if it's a kind of bird, setting out food that particular bird species likes, or creating a welcoming environment for them. Depending upon what you're dealing with, keep meditating, keep reaching out. And when the time is right, your spirit animal will either confirm your theory regarding its identity, or it will correct it, and you'll be able to work with them more easily during your meditations going forward and really get the benefit of them. Now, for ancestors, depending upon what pagan lore you consult, some people believe that you always have a guardian ancestor around. And if indeed that is the case, I personally believe it is, but make up your own mind on the subject. But if that is the case, then your ancestral guide is already connected to you, which is half the battle won. So in this case, it's more about learning how to learn and pick up on cues and little nudges from your ancestor than anything else. And in my experience, this tends to be a lot more subtle than it is working with a spirit animal. Less vivid meditations, more tiny little sparks of intuition denoting guidance. It's soft nudges rather than, strong pushes. And you might consider creating an ancestor shrine in your home, with pictures, a little mementos from them, anything that you have. That can serve as a spiritual center in your home for ancestor veneration just in general. It will also be a place where you perform your offerings, but it can also be a base that this ancestor can cling to that whenever they're watching over you. Now, this is a strong point for them. Now, the biggest mystery will probably be which particular ancestor are you connected to? Is it someone that you know? Is it an ancestor that's much more distant in your family line? I'm sorry to say there's no easy way to sort that out. Just rely upon your intuition. Try different offerings. to see if you get nudged that something was favorably received or not. Try to confirm who it might be. You can try favorite foods, drinks, flowers, whatever it was that they liked. And then just ask for an indication from your ancestor if your suspicions are correct or not. And if they feel like it, they will answer you. And even if you never do conclude precisely who your ancestral guardian is, that doesn't mean that you can't benefit from their presence and wisdom. Graciously accept whatever nudges the spirit sees fit to give to you, and trust that if it's necessary for you to know, eventually you will be informed about more details. Now, the Fae. I will not sugarcoat it. It's complicated. And as mentioned earlier, I am using Fae as an umbrella term. There's all sorts of Fae that you might encounter. Not all of them are friendly. Most of them demand very good manners on your part, and they will not hesitate to figuratively and perhaps literally wrap your knuckles if you forget your actual place on that totem pole. Consequently, whether you find yourself being called by one of those beings or you are actively seeking them out, just be careful. Use your head. Except that these beings do not operate by human norms. They are not subject to how we think things should be. They have their own rules. And go out of your way to be respectful in thought, word, and deed, and to be respectful on terms that they would consider to be respectful. Offerings of milk, honey, homemade bread, shiny things, that tends to get the relationship off to a good start. Take special care of your immediate environment, both indoors and out. The Fae as a whole tend to enjoy beauty, and they appreciate efforts being made. And then just wait and see what they do. If interacting with the Fae does appeal to you, research all the lore you can possibly find from all over the world. Look for common patterns, and of course, remember to be humble. We don't know everything. So you won't know everything when you do this. And individual Fae, of course, have individual preferences. Plan adaptability accordingly. And just to be clear, I'm not saying this to put anyone off this. The purpose is to encourage people to be prepared and to do their due diligence. Now, supposing our spirit guide is actually one of the gods. Whether we are talking about the god and the goddess as the source of all divinity, or if we are talking about the pantheons that they begot, the truth is that we are always connected to the gods and them to us. Literally, spiritually, a mixture of both. The gods are the progenitors of human peoples, and in the case of the god and the goddess, they are the progenitors of all of existence. We cannot lose the gods, not in life, not in death. And best of all, as the modern pagan revival has shown through the experience of many practitioners, the gods want to have strong relationships with us. They genuinely do care about us, and they are going out of their way to be active in our lives and in the world. Now, there are some naysayers who deny this, and you should definitely make up your own mind on the subject. But the overwhelming evidence that I see in the pockets of paganism that I've encountered and what I've experienced in my own life, it really does convince me that the gods aren't just open to being approached and having stronger connections. They are insisting upon that. So let's cultivate these relationships. Now, if a deity makes the first move, you might have a very dramatic encounter in a dream or a meditation or even a nudge inside of your own mind that amounts to, hey, kid, you'll be coming with me now. And then you get to know them through studying their lore, hearing other people's experiences, and having direct experiences yourself, particularly in meditation. You are the one who's actively seeking out a specific god or goddess. You might find yourself walking a very long and winding road. Sometimes this happens because it's a test. Sometimes our obstacles are self-inflicted, and we have to learn how to get out of our own way and have the humility to reassess our own ideas so that we can be open to that connection being more strongly forged. Now, the difficulties presented from whatever source are not an indication that anything is wrong, and they are not an indication that you've been rejected. The lesson is about fortitude, and perhaps in order to work productively with the deity you're seeking, you will require more fortitude than you currently possess. And so this journey, it is serving as preemptive training. So just trust that process. Now, occasionally, we may successfully seek out and connect with a deity only to be told that we will not be working closely with them. This happened to me. I successfully found Hecate in a meditation. She was very cordial, but she also firmly redirected me. And I thanked her and respected her wishes and definitely have not pressed the issue. So if that should happen to you, don't be discouraged if you can possibly help it. It doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. It doesn't mean that you're not cut out for the craft, but it just means that a certain deity isn't going to be your mentor. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a reason why there are so many deities who share similar areas of concern. You just have to keep looking until you find someone who is going to be more of that teacher. So chin up. Now, I want to leave you with a few grace notes. First of all, be patient. Patience is a virtue. This does take time. When you are working with the unseen, accurate identification is challenging at best. Don't rush into anything. You don't want to find yourself in a situation where you mistook a malevolent spirit for a friend, and then you end up becoming their energetic food source. Remember, when it comes to the unseen realms, particularly entities that aren't necessarily friendly, we are both their prey and their predators. If we are not prepared, if we do not protect ourselves from them, we become their prey. But if we are prepared, then we are their predators. So just be aware of that dynamic. Another thing is practicing good manners is always prudent. Spirit guides can and will discipline you if they find you rude or arrogant. So again, don't create self-inflicted problems if you can help it. Remember that connecting with guides is a process, not an event. Again, patience, patience, patience. And of course, not all connections are going to be lifelong or even occur multiple times. And that isn't a sign that something is wrong, only that the connection has fulfilled its purpose, at least for the moment, and you need only use the guidance that you have received. And then, of course, the connections that actually do last a lifetime, these are well worth cherishing. Spare no effort for those. You want to make sure those relationships stay strong and close. Now for our homework for March 8th through March 14th. Number 1, journal about your degree of experience with various spirit guides thus far. Number 2, is there any being you would like to be closer to? And are you ready to take steps to reach out? And number 3, is there any being? And is that prudence on your part, or is it a desire to avoid something you don't need to deal with? And by not wanting to deal with, I'm thinking that perhaps you have areas of improvement you would like to work on, and a being would insist that you do work on that, and you're just not looking for that pressure at this time. Be honest with yourself. It's important to know these things. So that is what I have for you this week. Next week's class will focus on the ideas of winds of change. We'll be going into some stuff with that. So definitely come back for that. In the meantime, comments, questions, concerns, complaints, leave them all for me in the comment section below, and I will chat with you about them as much as I possibly can. But that'll do it for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.